Welcome to the Electoral Commission of Queensland's webinar about what is group campaign activity. This webinar provides information for candidates, groups of candidates and their agents in the upcoming 2024 local government elections in Queensland. So what is a group? Well, a group may be formed by two or more candidates who wish to campaign collectively for a local government election, execute common policies and achieve shared goals if elected to council. Candidates don't need to form a group, but they must register as a group with the ecq if they wish to engage in group campaign activities. And we'll talk about what this means on the next slide. Engaging in group campaign activities without first registering as a group is an integrity offence that carries significant financial penalties. For those who don't know, an integrity offence means a person will be disqualified from being a councillor. So it is quite a serious matter, which is why it's important that you familiarise yourself with what group campaign activities are so that you don't accidentally engage in them unless you are first registered as a group of candidates. So what are group campaign activities? Well, these are set out in legislation under the Local Government Electoral Act. They include any of the following if carried out by two or more candidates in an intentionally coordinated way. And those are keywords to keep in mind there if they are intentionally coordinated. The activities include using a common platform to promote the election of the candidates. If the candidates use the same ads, campaign slogans, brands or images, how to vote cards or any other promotional election materials. If they participate in the same fundraising activities or events, or if they share the same resources, or if they give or share gifts or loans between themselves. If any of these activities are carried out by two or more candidates, again, in an intentionally coordinated way, they constitute group campaign activities and they must not be done unless the candidates are registered with the ecq as a group. There is one exception to this rule, which is candidates who are endorsed by the same registered political party. They may engage in group campaign activities without registering as a group with the ecq. So we're going to run through a few scenarios now, and for each scenario, we'll talk about whether or not they constitute group campaign activities. So the first scenario is a candidate designs the graphics for another candidate's website. This is group campaign activity as it involves one candidate gifting electoral expenditure to another candidate in the form of designing the graphics for their campaign website. Candidates must not give gifts, including gifted electoral expenditure, or share resources with other candidates unless they are registered as a group with the ecq. So our second scenario is two candidates independently choose to campaign about bikeway upgrades. So although the candidates in this scenario are campaigning on the same issue, it is unlikely that this would constitute group campaign activity unless the candidates intentionally coordinated to campaign on this issue, such as by sharing policy documents, resources, advertising, or finances. If it was just a coincidence that the two candidates decided to campaign on the same issue, say they both just happen to be very passionate about bikeway upgrades in their area, and they didn't discuss it with each other or plan to campaign on the same issue, it would not be considered to be group campaign activity, and they wouldn't need to register as a group. For our next scenario, we have four candidates arranging to have their photo taken together for an election advertisement. This is group campaign activity as the four candidates have intentionally coordinated the photo shoot for use in the same election advertisement, and candidates must not use the same images, advertisements, or election material unless they are registered as a group. For the next scenario, we have three candidates who hold a joint fundraiser and split the proceeds between them. So this is a pretty easy one. This is definitely group campaign activity. Candidates must not intentionally participate in the same fundraising activities or events or share gifts unless they are registered as a group. And now our final scenario, we have 6 candidates participating in a community event, which is held by council for the general public. So although in this scenario we have the 6 candidates participating in the same event, it is unlikely that this would be group campaign activity unless the candidates intentionally planned with the other candidates to attend the event. So if they all just happened to attend the same event because they were all invited by the council, maybe they wanted to speak to their constituents about their candidacy, and they didn't plan to attend together with the other candidates or discuss what they would speak about at the event, then it would not be considered to be group campaign activity, and the candidates wouldn't need to register as a group with the ecq. So if you've heard these scenarios and you think that you might wish to engage in group campaign activities for the election, you'll need to make sure that you register as a group of candidates with the ecq before you do so. And you can apply to register a group at any time up until the day before election day. You can apply online via the ecq's self-service portal. Self-service portal, which is available at self-serve.elections.qld.gov.au. All members of the group will need to sign the application form, and you'll also need to provide the details of the group's dedicated campaign bank account. You'll also need to appoint an agent who will be responsible for complying with the group's bank account, disclosure, and expenditure cap obligations. They may be a member of the group or they can be someone outside the group. And please also remember that even if you register as a group with the ecq, each member of the group will still need to be nominated separately for the election when nominations open. Now, if you have any questions from this webinar or you'd like to know where you can go to find more information, the ecq has published a comprehensive range of fact sheets on our website, which you can find at www.ecq.qld.gov.au/factsheets. You can also have a look at the legislation itself. The Local Government Electoral Act 2011 prescribes the requirements for candidates and groups in a local government election. Or you can contact our funding, disclosure and compliance team. We're very happy to help with any inquiries that you might have. So please send us an email at fad@ecq.qld.gov.au, or you can call us on 1300 881 665. Just remembering that we can only provide you with general advice. So if you do need specific advice regarding your obligations for the election, you may need to seek independent legal advice. Thank you very much for watching our webinar. We do appreciate your time and hope that the information provided has been useful.